What's going on, guys, and all you Star Wars fans alike? We are just flying through the month of May at light speed, which means the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is just about here, guys. Many fans, including myself, are eagerly anticipating the returns of Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Hayden Christensen coming back to play Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. There's a lot of excitement up in the Star Wars fandom air, so I thought that it was time to count down the 5 things that I'm most hoping to see in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So without further ado, let's kick it off with number 5. And at number 5, I would like to see this series retrospectively build upon the Anakin and Obi-Wan relationship. Whether they do that through flashbacks in the Clone Wars or retconning what we saw in the prequels to do their own thing, not only was Anakin Obi-Wan's apprentice, but they were also supposed to have a brothership. After all, in the original Star Wars movie, Obi-Wan does say this about Anakin.
And he was a good friend.
And I just feel like we never got to see that. The prequels didn't do a very good job establishing Obi-Wan and Anakin as friends, or even as people who liked each other.
Well, you've lost him.
I'm deeply sorry, Master.
That was some shortcut, Anakin. He went completely the other way.
I hope this show can find a way to give us an Obi-Wan and Anakin relationship that we actually care about, get invested into these characters again, and help us to feel the heartbreaking tragedy it is now that Obi-Wan has lost his friend to the dark side. Which brings us to number 4. I want to see this series have a traumatic aftermath of what we saw happen at the end of the prequel trilogy. Where we last left off in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan has just left his friend with no limbs to burn alive to a crisp on Mustafar. Or so he thought. I really hope that this series lets us explore that moment where Obi-Wan realizes that his friend is alive and is now a trained Sith Lord on the dark side of the Force. And I want to see that affect Obi-Wan. I want to see how he's struggling with that realization. At the same time, this is the Empire's peak of their power over the galaxy. I want to feel the Empire have a hold on the galaxy. I want to feel them be in the palm of the hand of the Emperor. I want to see the Emperor be this overlord of the galaxy. I want to see the fear that Vader has imprinted on the people of the galaxy. He is the Emperor's right-hand man, and he is the one keeping the galaxy in check. And I want to see how people are dealing with that, and I want to feel the fear that the galaxy is in at this moment in time. And coming in at number 3, I want to see some perspective from Vaders Side. Now look, this series has to primarily focus on the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I think it would be really cool to catch up with Anakin as Vader and really get deep inside of his head. It's been 10 years since Revenge of the Sith. He's had time to grow in his role of Darth Vader as the Sith Lord. How is he dealing with that? How has that changed him? What is he dealing with mentally after being manipulated by the Emperor and being told that he killed his wife Carrie and his kid? Is he being haunted by Padme's memory? Is he having nightmares of her? I know a lot of fans want to ignore the prequel relationship between Anakin and Padme, but it is canon and it is a big part of Anakin's life journey. There was a really haunting image online I once found, I think it was fan art or it might have been from a comic book, of Vader visiting Padme's grave and placing his hand on his tomb. That one image alone has always resonated with me and it helped me to understand the heartbreaking character that Darth Vader and Anakin truly are. And this one image alone has always wanted me to get a Vader movie, and since we're not getting a Vader movie and it doesn't look like we're going to be getting a Vader movie anytime soon, I would love for this series to kind of work as a Vader movie within itself and give us some perspective and really let us dive deep into the character that is Darth Vader. Bringing us at number 2, I would like to see this series really work to expand the universe. Now look, this series taking place on Tatooine really works for the character of Obi-Wan and where he is at this point in time. But we did just come off the book of Boba Fett, which mostly took place on Tatooine. And one of the fun things about The Mandalorian that I really enjoy is how much we explore the galaxy, different creatures, different characters, different worlds that we've never seen before in Star Wars. I would love to see that continue with the Obi-Wan series, as well as going back to some of the prequel worlds. I would love to go back to Coruscant. Maybe we get to see Vader's castle on Mustafar? Real quick, before I get to the number 1 thing that I most want to see in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, if you haven't already and you like talking all things Star Wars, movies, TV, all things entertainment, why don't you go on and click that subscribe button, click that like button, click that notification bell, all that YouTube stuff, and while you're at it, why don't you comment down below what are you hoping to see in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, whether it's your top 5, top 10, top 20, top 50. I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions of what you want to see in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series down in the comment section below. And with all that out of the way, let's get to my number 1. And coming in at number 1, the number 1 thing that I most want to see from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is a focused character story on Obi-Wan Kenobi himself. Now look, I'm like all the other Star Wars fans out there. I want to see lightsabers. I want to see big battles. I want this expansive epic story to be told, but at the center of this story, I really hope that we get a character study of Obi-Wan Kenobi at this time in his life. We are just coming off of the Book of Boba Fett, and with the Book of Boba Fett, I feel like the series lost focus on Boba Fett a lot of the times and just took us to other characters and different stories that were way more fascinating than the character of Boba Fett himself. I don't want to see that happen with the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm really excited to see Ewan McGregor return back to this role after, what, 15 years of being away from it? And well, I'm also really looking forward to seeing Hayden Christensen return as Vader, getting a second chance to play this character and prove to us Star Wars fans that the writing and George Lucas's direction of the prequels were the biggest problem with his character, as opposed to the performance that he was instructed to give. But even with all that said, and even with how much I'm looking forward to getting more of Vader's story, this has to focus on Obi-Wan. Show us where he's at. Let us get inside his head. Let us get deep and personal with the character. How is he dealing with looking over Luke, the last mission he was given from his master Yoda? How is he doing knowing that all of his Jedi friends are either dead or being hunted down, and the fact that he's being hunted down as a Jedi himself? How does he feel seeing the Empire rise to power? The Empire that he failed to stop from rising. And of course, what does it do to him now that he's learned that his friend, his former apprentice, is now a Sith Lord on the dark side? I really hope this series shows us that moment where Obi-Wan realizes that Anakin is still alive. But through all that, I hope that we get to get close and personal with the character of Obi-Wan like never before. And there you have it, guys. Those are the 5 things that I'm most hoping to see in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Now look, I'm not saying that the series has to do all this stuff in order for me to like it. Ultimately, I'm just putting my faith and trust into the directors, the writers, the actors, everyone involved with the show to make it great. And whether or not it is going to turn out to be great, we only have to wait a couple more weeks. And with that, guys, as always, thank you so much for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. And I hope to talk to you guys again real soon.